Yo, yo, what's up? All right, what's good, gang? Okay, so let me go ahead and switch things up around here. All right, so if y'all want to get all of the setups that I'm going to go over right now, you can get them in my Telegram. They're going to be there for you guys. What's up, Sacramento? Okay. I'm going to pin this to the top just so that y'all don't keep asking me. But honestly, the best practice you can do is just draw them up yourself. To be honest, it'll help you the most, for sure. Okay, so let's dive into it. So we have quite a bit. Oh, let me close this. There's a little bit of everything. I'm not going to start here. I might end there. But we're going to go over a little bit a good amount of indices. We'll go into crypto. We'll go into oil. We'll go into a currency pair. We'll go into gold. So everything, like just we're like a melting pot of assets that we're going to be looking at. So pretty cool to see here. Maya is doing her thing. It's always great. But if you guys have any setups, let me know. PR, what's good, Rent? Oh, bro, I'm gonna hit you back. My bad, man. I know you hit me up yesterday. What's up, San Fran? Jose Luis Alberto Oliveira. What's good, bro? Hector Barroeta. What's good? Oh, the dog is dogging. So, gotta get Nancy to come upstairs here and come get this dog. I want to learn English and trading, so nice. Why not do both at the same time, right? The best of both worlds. Okay, so we're gonna dive in. I'm gonna start with Bitcoin. I know Bitcoin's on everyone's mind, or at least if you're a trader, you're probably investing too. So I'm sure it's pretty useful to have both. And then let me know in the chat who is buying and trading crypto. Like investing and trading at the same time. Who just invests and who just trades it. I see LA is in here. Cali, round 4. Yo, for those of you that are in my community, this is our 4th stream of the day. We do English and Spanish for New York session. And then yesterday I didn't do one in Spanish. I usually do one on Sundays. So I just did it. I just finished doing that one. And then now in English. So yeah, I'm doing overtime today. Mondays are hectic. Jeez. So very productive day. I'm gonna tell you guys, like, yo, if you can do whatever you want to do in this life, you just gotta schedule it. So yeah, I really just need to structure now. I will say I don't have any kids. I do have a dog, a husky, which is demanding, but nowhere near anything like actually having kids. But like, guys, if I can do all of this, then you definitely can too. So I see we got Modesto here. What's up, Reggie? How are you, bro? Corey said he took odd and ZD cells. I have not looked at odd and ZD. I don't really look too much at the Asian session pairs. I have to like not like, you know, I don't want to live on the charts, so I'm chilling. So I don't really look at Asian session pairs for the sake of actually living. What's up, Michael? So we got West Coast. What's up, Seth? Mendez. Got East Coast. What's up, Gio? What's good, bro? We got Midwest. We got Texas. Sacramento. What's up, Linda? Sean Views. Oh, Texas is in here. You're flying to the U.S. Where you going, bro? Where you going, Ramsey? Puerto Rico to the U.S. What is it? What's good, bro? Jack in here. Scheduling the cause you're going to watch definitely helps, especially for me. For sure. All right, anyways, let's dive in, guys. Let's dive right in. So, again, I'm going to go over Bitcoin. I'm going to go over indices. I'm going to touch a bit on oil. And interestingly enough, guys, I do think we're getting ready for some trending markets here pretty soon. CPI and PPI are kind of the best possible news events for this. Oftentimes, these do trigger trending markets. They either set up trending markets or they kind of activate that momentum for them. So I would not be shocked if we start to get some bullish momentum across the board. Bitcoin, indices, oil. We have seasonality in oil that we'll talk about. In terms of dollar pairs, AU is kind of the cleanest setup, and I'll go over that as well. And then any other things, any questions that you guys have, let me know. Got to do what you got to do here. Salute. What's up, Daniel? Don't judge. I can't trade in the morning. No judgment here, man. If you got to trade Asian session, you got to trade Asian session. You got to do what you got to do. Iker, what's good, bro? Are you still out there in North Carolina? Philly. Enjoy Philly, man. All right, so with Bitcoin, let's zoom out. Right. We'll start with the zoom out, and then we'll go from here. You guys saw quarter four was just, post elections, market went crazy, and then things started to settle. Going into December, things have been moving sideways. So we've had sideways markets for crypto now for almost 3 months. We're about that 90-day mark, and when people see something like this, I feel like everyone's convinced that we're going to distribute and just come crashing down. A lot of bearish sentiment as far as what I've seen on like the crypto timeline. A lot of bearish sentiment, but I don't see it on the charts. The charts to me are showing now there's very to little no demand below 92,500. And then, basically all of February, anytime we look to get below 96,500, 96,250, we just kind of fail. So even though, yes, we break through, we don't end up trading here for very long. So demand is little to non-existent at these levels. And when I see something like this, to just give you guys some more clarity over here, we see this previous high. The market tries to make these lower lows. If you're on smaller time frames, you're going to see candles close down here, but price just doesn't really trade here for very long. So we come down and right back up. So when price does get below here, in my opinion, there's really not enough demand to prove that we're bearish. And then clearly when the market didn't hold these highs and went above, and then now we traded above here for weeks, 2 whole weeks. To me, this shows that we have bullish demand. We even have liquidity up here, so there's a lot of motive for price to go higher again. And just on the chart work, this to me looks like reaccumulation and a failed distribution. So overall, this looks good. And then if we start looking at the macro, guys, like you have, for example, I think Tesla now owns more than $1 billion worth of Bitcoin. MicroStrategy, I think, bought like $750 million this last week as well of Bitcoin. You have, BlackRock owns, I think, like 1% of the total supply now. I mean, this thing's going nuts. You got countries launching meme coins. I think, what was it? The Republic of Central, I forgot what country in Africa yesterday they made a meme coin. So it's It's wild. And so I do think we're about there. I think we're about to get to just absolute degenerate, sick gains, and it's not hype. I think it's all just kind of pointing in that direction. So yeah, I mean, either way, we haven't even seen altcoin season, and on top of that, guys, you have Ethereum finally starting to flip Bitcoin. If you guys haven't looked at this ETH BTC chart, this to me is the sexiest chart in terms of what altcoin season can do and where we're at in this time period. I've been waiting for this for forever. We finally got to the imbalances of January 2021. If you don't know, January 2021 and February 2021 is kind of when things started to set up before we saw absolute explosive movement in altcoins that led to March, April, May, extreme volatility. So if you look at what happened with ETH in 2021, it was really January, February, like again, right when Bitcoin started to mitigate was when this started to go down. So just to give you guys a bit more context, here is ETH 2021, right? We started to get the explosive volatility here leading up to May. And this is where ETH just overtook Bitcoin's movements. So if we go back and look at ETH BTC, this is where ETH started to take over Bitcoin in terms of bullishness. Like everything started to go up, but ETH was just going at way more aggressive rates. So I think we're getting really the same things now. We rebalanced that ETH BTC chart. It looks like now ETH can start to go bullish and just move at a stronger pace relative to Bitcoin. And ETH tends to set off the altcoin season. And this is kind of the how do I explain it? Like it's like season 2 of altcoin season, because obviously, guys, if you've been looking at crypto since 2022, then I mean the markets have been going crazy, right? We've seen Bitcoin's gone from 15 and change to over almost 110,000. So we're looking at like a 9x from those lows. So obviously the markets have been going crazy, but altcoins like ETH and Sol, like although yes, some of those have hit all-time highs, it's just not what we know can happen. So I do think we have a lot more in store in terms of what Bitcoin and ETH can do. So to give you guys the nitty-gritty, the details, because the chart has been moving sideways for so long, and Bitcoin, even though it crashed on last Monday, and the market came right back, I do think that we end up, working our way back to these levels, which if you are a member of the community, you guys got these. You guys got these entries around 95K for the secondary buy. For those of you that have been following me, I mean, we've hit these Bitcoin reversals really well. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I just wish I had more liquidity all the time. So shout out to just having income and being able to cycle withdrawals. But man, it's like, anyone want to let me borrow a couple $100 million? Like this is we were getting them over and over again. So seeing the market give us this higher high on the 1 hour after we see this shift in momentum, again, more quality news. And you guys are seeing this every time we see price break below. It just doesn't want to stay below 96K. We get below here, comes right back up. So there's clearly not enough demand. And now that we're seeing higher highs, now we're seeing price trade up here, I do think we have quite a bit of opportunity for buys here. The question is are we going to get this entry before or with CPI? We're about roughly 36 hours away, and CPI is a pretty massive news event. We might just have a trigger for Powell, and then CPI might just send it. So something like that is definitely possible. And we'll just kind of go from there. So right now, the next entry point that I have, and with Bitcoin, you can have this a bit wider because it does look like ETH is a slightly, like it looks like ETH might end up getting to the zone last. I'm not really sure yet. We're going to have to kind of compare them and see which one's going to be a better trade. But right now, they're pretty close. Like Bitcoin is pulling back here. ETH is also working its way back down as well. So we'll kind of see which is a better buy if you're looking to do leverage. And then for those of you that want to buy alts, I mean, around these levels, under 96,250, I would just buy up whatever your favorite alts are. So I know some of you, actually, let me know in the chat, what is your favorite altcoin right now? I know some of you are like ICP, some of you got like Caspa, some of you like Chainlink, some of you are big in the meme coin scene. Y'all know I'm a massive, I wouldn't call myself a whale of dog. I think that's a little bit, that I don't think I have enough to be a whale, but definitely huge. I'm a dolphin in dog on Bitcoin. That's so funny. ETH, okay, so we like ETH. Okay, what else y'all got? What you guys? Solana, I'm sure a lot of you guys love Solana. Corey asks, do you think Bitcoin is still a good investment even at 100K? Depends on your, I'd say yes. Either way, yes. My answer is yes. But it depends on your timeline, and depends, are you trading or investing? Are you holding forever? Are you, like, well, it just depends on what your investment goals are. That to me is the most important thing. So if you look at it that way, I think you have a better perspective. Some of you are going to be like, well, it's so high, should I even buy? And it's like, well, and you can't look at the markets as the same way you would look at, like going shopping. Like getting a deal, getting a save, it's 50% discount, 25% discount. Yes, of course, that's great. But it also depends on just what you're doing. If you're trading and if you're investing, a lot of it really depends on your exit strategies and depends on where you're at in the game. I think Bitcoin at these levels, can you still go and make, 15, 25, 50% for sure? And I think there's a good chance, like a very probable chance. At the end of the day, you got to invest in what you understand. And you also have to understand your exit before you're even entering, and how long you're looking at doing investments. ICP dot. Okay, dot. Old one. ISO, and then Soul Project. So you're looking at like XRP, HBAR, all those guys. Okay. Soul Projects, Chainlink. Sweet. Cool. Love to see it, guys. So anyways, yeah. Bitcoin or ETH, they look solid. I dropped these charts in my Telegram, so I already pinned that, so you guys can go and look at those charts so you can mark them up yourself. But yeah, I mean, things look good. With this setup, what I'm seeing is we have a pretty big sell-off right here. So this clears a low. This starts to lure in tons of sellers, especially after it kind of fails to stay up here. Market's crashing down. You got to think about this when you're looking at it at the moment. Think about the market like this. Right, imagine this is what you're experiencing live. The market's been crashing. It's been going down, 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 crashing again. People see engulfing candlestick pattern here. Right there. People, this is for a lot of retail, that's a seller's signal. Boom, sells, and then this thing just does what? Next couple candles. Clears them. This clears sellers. People places their stop above the previous highs, also liquidates sellers, and then we see the market start to, kind of chop up here, and now we are in the present moment. So yeah, I think we can get some pretty good setups here. If you want to widen your stop a bit, just in case, Bitcoin isn't the lagger in this setup, and maybe ETH decides to kind of drop at a slower pace, maybe ETH is a better trade. So I would say just be mindful of how you're trading this. If you trade Bitcoin or ETH with a too tight of a stop, a lot of times you're going to end up getting stopped out and the market's going to move. And it's just because you probably chose the wrong crypto. You chose the wrong asset. Maybe you just are not too keen on correlation and divergence and all that good stuff. So I think you want to just kind of focus on that. So yeah, Bitcoin, ETH, I dropped those in the chat. Definitely keep your eyes on that. Now, from there, cool. We took care of crypto. We've done our good 20 minutes on crypto. Let's go focus on what can be traded in the near future here with indices, with US 30 or NAS. Now, I do want to bring your attention here. So when we're looking at US 30, we're pretty choppy here. So we've had equal lows. Now, equal lows on the extremes, 4-hour extremes, and you even had liquidity at this low. The market goes very aggressive. And Sunday, market opens, we see a meltdown. This rebalances this, so we play off of previous structure. We've seen some key levels over here, so just pretty much standard reversal points. And because there was an imbalance here, we expected the market to drop. Now, there's still liquidity here, right? So keep that in mind. There's still liquidity here. So that doesn't mean that this thing has to go all the way up already. Not quite. And I'll go over why I think we might break below and actually tackle this on. Maybe. Again, remember, we have CPI and PPI Wednesday and Thursday. So all of this comes together, and it could all become just one whole. Everything is like a little chess piece. It's a massive puzzle here. So US 30 worked its way down, doesn't liquidate anything, but it does become more efficient. That's a fact. From here, then we see from Sunday market open, the market rallies within the same hour. During the Asian session, it's pretty sideways, and then London session, it starts to move its way up. Fantastic. During this time, we can definitely tell that drop was a massive sell-off. So a lot of, whales, a lot of the big money sweeps tons of retail buyers. The market rallies. Fantastic. And while this is rallying and this thing is starting to pump, it does get to this previous, where we had support before. It kind of stalls out. It moves sideways for about 25 minutes before it then pulls up again. So right around here is where it starts to kind of lure in sellers and then go up again. So right around here is where you oftentimes get some pretty good reversal points. And there's two things that happen here that we haven't gone over. So while this is crashing, on Friday's session, we see a sweep of the high. So there's retail money here, sellers. Market pumps, liquidates these retail sellers. Then you see the massive sell-off, the imbalance, etc. Fantastic. So we do have possible sell ideas over here. I'm waiting on that. Today we see New York open, push the market way up here. So we see a big move. Market jumps up almost 80 points. After it does that, then it comes crashing down. So what we see here is sideways movement, the clear above that sideways movement, and then the massive drop, and the markets just stay down here. So at this point in time, we can definitely see that money is coming into the market with the intention of, there's buyers here. That's just what we know. Buys come in, take out sellers, and then it crashes. Cool. So we know that you could look for sells and you could possibly look for buys. So the reason I didn't take any buys with US 30 is because, as enticing as this looks to buy in these zones, NASDAQ ends up being kind of the bull of the day. So US 30 starts to work its way down, while Nas just keeps on working its way up. Nas does get to this level. This is where, on Friday, Nas and US 30 pump the price up at the same time, and then things crash. Nas gets to here while US 30 is not anywhere near this yet. Okay. So we're definitely seeing Nas more of the bull in this environment. We're also seeing how the market here is building up quite a bit of retail buying. So there's just a lot of buyers here. So there's a good chance the market clears out yesterday's Asian session and London session buyers. Clearly all of New York session buyers already are taken out too. So it just looks like Nas is a lot slower to work its way back to these key levels. Yo, what's up, Will? How are you, man? So yeah, NASDAQ right now, it just looks like it's going to get to these buy zones at a slower pace than US 30. And I think that's why these levels are going to hold. So if we're looking at the divergence between NAS and US 30, NAS is clearly a stronger candidate for bullish structure compared to US 30. Plus, again, remember, US 30 still has liquidity here. So by the time that NAS ends up, in buying territory, we can see US 30 get driven below all of this liquidity. All right, so that's why I think US 30 is best right now for sells. And I've, marked that up for you guys. It's in the Telegram there. And it looks like NAS is best for buys. So keep this in mind right now. You're seeing NAS work its way lower. We're seeing US 30 work its way down lower. Even Bitcoin right now is starting to work its way down. So we kind of have a handful of ideas, and I wouldn't be surprised if Bitcoin and maybe NAS get to these key levels at the same time. So these are the setups I have right now. NAS for me is the one that has the best chance for buying opportunities. Whether it's, I feel like we're going to get something either for Powell. If Powell doesn't bring us into that zone, then it might be CPI. If Powell does, then we'll have a lot more context for CPI news. So stay tuned for tomorrow as well. Just follow up with this, just keep that in mind. But yeah, these are the setups right now for indices. So it looks like if I'm looking for buys, it's probably going to be with NAS. And if I'm looking for sells, it's probably going to be with US 30. And then the reason S&P I'm not really involving in any of this is it's just the middle child. It kind of just splits the difference. So it's kind of, I guess you could say it's almost a safer trade, but you're not ever really going to get the one that's really aggressively moving. You're kind of getting just like the slow and steady. So, I mean, for conservative purposes, S&P is never really the worst idea. All right. Cool. Oh, guys, also, Fridays moving forward, I will be streaming live here. So for the first time ever, I will be doing New York Open on here. So for the last 7.5 years, I've been doing, put in, 20,000 hours of live streaming. And so I wanted you guys to kind of get a better idea of what it looks like to manage a setup live, me walking through the mind, the process, the emotional calibration, so that you guys can kind of understand that and just have a better look on how it's done. So for Fridays moving forward, I will be streaming here live for y'all, and so don't miss out on that. Make sure you have your notifications on and you guys are subscribed so that you always know when that's happening. And it's gonna be a good time. So for those of you that are currently already members, I mean, you guys already know the vibes. It's lit. But, I wanted more of you to kind of see it, because so much happens behind a paywall, and also so many people out there are just theory-based. They're hiding behind courses, whereas I want you guys to just build the confidence of being able to do this live and consistently So yeah, much love to you guys. So all right, so that's indices. Talked about crypto. Oil. Now oil hasn't quite proven to me that it's fully ready to go and swing for seasonality. Almost. It's almost there. We have the lower lows, the lower highs. The market fails to make lower lows here. There's not really a lot of demand below, we can say 71.80, 71.70. Every time it gets below here, kind of comes back up again. Does the same thing here. So on the 15-minute, we are getting above. So we are seeing a shift in momentum. But this structure, now what we're going to the bigger time frame, not quite there yet. So I want to see the market work its way down, and maybe we do get a big reversal, and maybe we caught the move, right? Otherwise, that's why we're going to kind of play the exit by ear here. But what we're going to end up seeing, that's how I got plugged in with you because of these YouTube calls. Oh, sick. So, I mean, even here, guys, if you're looking at how the market's been moving, even just in the last few days, since Sunday and Monday's price action, you see the sweep and the continuation. You see another push down and a continuation. You see another push down and a continuation. So intraday, you might get some good balances here. And maybe these do rally and they don't even work their way even lower. Totally a possibility. I'm just kind of playing it a bit more conservative, but I totally see the option. Like here, for example, we'll start from all over here. So here you do see a sweep. This is Friday, like the open, my bad. This is Sunday, the open of it. So it gets below, but Sunday, to me, this leaves liquidity here. So not the best example. Then we move sideways some more. And we do see a sweep here before it rallies, so it's okay. And then this one I do understand. So here we're moving sideways during London session and New York session. The market then does rip below before then the continuation. Not only that, from here you see price trade above the previous high all of New York session and the first few hours of Asian session. So maybe we get a bounce from here. Maybe you get a move like this. I'm not counting on this one doing the full thing since we're kind of like in the middle of a range. So that's why I think, if anything, this was the big sell-off before the market rallied. Here was another huge sell-off before the market rallied. So this is kind of where I'm looking at with the market, where we can get some pretty big reversals around here. It looks like this is going to be a good buy zone. Maybe into this imbalance, maybe it even goes a little lower. But I'm going to like to trade in these zones. And I chose specifically right around 71 because we've just seen this as a key level so many times. So here you see, 70, a little under 71, a little under 71, some resistance, structure. So that's why this area looks good to me. And we'll just kind of ride it out, see how the market reverses, see what it's looking to close out. If not, this might be the beginning of a massive move forward. So I already sent this out on the Telegram, but if you want to mark this up on your own, definitely feel free to do so. So I'm not fully convinced yet that we're about to swing this. We might be one push down away, so that's something to keep in mind. And then we'll really kind of continue from here. So right now, it looks like I have a silver alert. Let me take a look at what exactly. Oh, wow. Metals just died. At least silver just died. Did gold die? Holy shit. Yo, anyone not trading with the stop just got fucked. Okay. Silver meltdown. Gold drop aggressively. What is the meaning of this? All right, so Trump speaks tentatively. When was this happening? Press conference 30 minutes ago. Trump said on Monday that Hamas should release all hostages led by military group. Okay, cool. Let's see. I'll give you guys a more up-to-date answer. Something must have been mentioned about tariffs or something. I'm assuming if we just got aggressive move like that. Let's see. What do we got over here? All right. 1 second. I'm doing a little research on the side. Meta tells employees to buckle up for an intense year in a leaked all hands recording. Nah, doesn't do anything. Elon, this is like a couple hours ago, made an offer, a bid on OpenAI. It wasn't confirmed if that was true. Interesting. So, not really sure yet what the excuse was to push this down so aggressively. Either way, like, that's cool. I'm not necessarily taking any positions anywhere here. I'm just kind of chilling. This is playing off a structure right now. So, you know, some of you maybe this is already reacting. It looks like about 70 pips or so. Now, if you just got bodied by this drop because you didn't protect your money, because for whatever reason, please just document this and don't make the same mistake. I'm sure none of you, suffered any consequences here because you're prepared. And so we'll see. I know, the tariffs on the metals for sure, but that was mentioned days ago. So is he speaking live right now? Can someone confirm that for me? I don't see anything about him speaking live right now. Like literally right now. Hold on. Let's see here. No. Huh. I mean, this is yen time. Our homies the bank holidays? So sometimes bank holidays do something. Yeah, I mean, tariffs on steel and aluminum, that was a few hours ago. Gotta up my fundamentals game apparently. Because, this drop on metals was a little bit unexpected. Not that it really did anything or affected me at all. But, cool. So, it doesn't seem to be a dollar-related thing. So, either it's metals, and then if it's metals, then it could be yen-related. Let's take a look at... but we would have already seen something with USD JPY. So, it's nothing... It's just strictly metals-related movement here. And then this started happening, 15 minutes ago? Let's see. Australian has a lot of metals reserves. We have... Alright, well, anyways. So, you guys had to take on oil. Now, I do want to go over AUD-USD. AUD-USD is, in my opinion, the only setup that really makes sense at the moment with the majors. Majors being like any, dollar-related AU, NU, GU, EU, all of those setups. We have a huge sell-off here from Monday, February 3rd, and then the market rips. So we don't necessarily have anything else in the zone. As you guys can see, AU has sustained this price action really well, trading above that 38.2 for about 5 days now. Meanwhile, NZD-USD has just been making lower lows. Euro has been doing the same thing. GU has been doing the same thing. So AUD-USD by far the buy here, and then it's basically anything under 0.62. From 0.62 and below, I think you have pretty good trades. This looks like could be a great place for buys. And maybe CPI gets us down here. CPI or PPI might get us to these levels. And I think conservatively, it looks like we can get probably to these areas. 3R looks pretty doable. So keep that in mind here for AU. things can change, so just keep this perspective open. Outside of that, I mean, I'm not really like I don't really care for a lot of Forex right now. It all looks pretty trash. A lot of sideways movement, slow movement. Shout out to people that just trade Forex. Like, yeah, I remember when I was trading only Forex back in from late 2015 to 2018. It was I remember why I was swing trading more. It's because like you just and it was only like pound pairs because it was just the most volatile. And gold was always a good one. But gold, the setup that I like on right here on gold is this. So this I'm kind of staying out of. I don't necessarily see like a big sweep and continuation. We just filled some gaps, but like it's just not my kind of trade. Some of you that maybe take break and retest with the trend, maybe you took this, but this isn't my entry model. I like to see the big money liquidating, big money luring money in, or luring money out. So here we had a nice sell-off before the market rallied. Clearly the market's still trending very bullish. So I do like buys on gold, but I'm liking buys on gold below 28.70, closer to 28.65. And even then, this looks like about 100 pip stop. But I mean, the market right now just dropped 300, almost 400 pips in 15 minutes. So 100 pip stop is really irrelevant at this point in time. Like, it's not 100 pips, or my bad, 100 pips, not points. 100 pips right now is like, 25 to 50 from a few years back. So a big, like, if you're like, 100 pips is such a big stop, it's not. If you think about relativity, like if you can get 400 or 500 out of it and you're risking 100 pips, then that's fantastic. That's what you want. So yeah, gold, here's the setup. We're talking about plays here for this. With gold, I do think we have a pretty decent chance of CPI or PPI playing out for gold. So make sure you have this marked up. Again, in the pinned Telegram, you guys have the link to all the setups I've gone over so far. With the market dropping like this, I'm curious if people are going to chase the buys because they're like, oh, look, we have a discount now. And they don't really have like their entry model. They're just doing whatever they do. So, and the Spanish channel, someone asked me like, hey, like, most people that I watch only trade a couple different assets, and you look at like fucking everything. So does it work? Can you trade a lot of different pairs or a lot of different assets? Does it function? And the answer to that is absolutely you can, but it's not about whether you can or whether it works or not. It's whether can you work it or not. Does it work for you? Or do you have the schedule to be able to trade different assets? Do you have the attention, the organization to be able to do that? Do you even have the margin to be able to do that? Now, the main reason I've looked at so many different things for so long is because, one, you guys ask for everything. But two, I have the time. Three, I have the data that proves it, and I'll literally show you right now. So, for example, here, this is some of my percentage of trades that I've taken over the course of the last, I think, like a year and a half, maybe. So, almost 62% are indexes. So, US 30, NASDAQ, S&P. About a little over 20% are Forex, so currencies, even exotic currencies and things like that. A little under 15% are commodities. So we're talking about gold, silver, oil, natural gas, things like that. And then stocks. Stocks and ETFs are a whopping 3.67%. However, in percentages, apparently I trade stocks in terms of like win percentage, the best here. So I just don't have that many opportunities. Where indices, I get a trade 4 out of 5 days of the week. I'm trading indices, it feels like. So, and yeah, I mean, the win rate is positive in all of these. And even with Forex being actually 46% winners, my return is still positive. So, so yeah, you can do it. And I mean, statistically, this is a sample size of well over 1,200 trades. So yeah, you can. But the goal isn't to trade like me. The goal is for you to find your sweet spot. And honestly, this account doesn't consider crypto, where I'd say Bitcoin is probably, the last like 2 years, I'd say maybe like anywhere from like 5 to 10% of my trades too, on leverage. Maybe a little more. But anyways, what you want to do is you want to find what works for you. So if you have a certain schedule and all you can do is trade agent session, then awesome. Just trade currencies like that. Maybe you get really good at trading the Nikkei. I don't know how many of you have traded the Nikkei. Honestly, some of you can become savage Japanese index traders if the best time for you to trade is around these times. You might be a just beast of a Japanese index trader here. And you're going to notice that some of these setups are actually pretty similar to US 30, to NASDAQ, to things like that. Some of you might get really good at trading the DAX, the German index, the Deutsch index, and like it'll be a lot different. So I mean, even here, like we're looking at Japanese index, the Nikkei. This thing starts to drop from like right over here. So I mean, I'll probably take this here. It's a good setup. I mean, I don't know if it's gonna go down anytime soon, but here we are. Now, to be frank, the Nikkei has been, it's been working. It's been very choppy, very sideways. Oh my God, this is insane. Okay, so, look at this. This is pretty wild. It's been relatively sideways for almost 140 days. We're almost talking about 5 months of sideways movements. Guys, what happens? What happens when the market moves sideways for this long? Oh my God. Someone's going to bank on the Nikkei and someone's going to get bankrupt on the Nikkei soon. This is madness. Dear Lord. I feel like one of these candles are going to happen soon with the Japanese index. We might get a sweep into this area. Breakout, exactly, breakout. Now, it can be bullish instead of being bearish. Right? That's totally a possibility. However, there's a little sneaky imbalance. There's a little something over here that I just feel like we could get into this zone. 37,000 here with the Japanese Nikkei. But again, so my whole point was not to go into this too much, but to show you that you want to trade whatever works for you. You want to be able to find opportunities that are structured around your availability, your patience, your level of awareness and understanding. So these are things that I would be focusing on if I was only able to trade these times. Same thing, maybe you're a London session trader and you can't trade New York session. So cool, maybe you're trading the DAX, right? Maybe you're trading the German 30. I'll put it up like this too. Let's look at this. So, this has been insanely bullish, just going absolutely wild. Similar shit, this has been more bullish than even US 30 and NAS lately. So could you get buys in here? It's definitely possible. Look at this. What? Sure 30, man. What a beast. This is the first index I ever traded was Joe 30. So should you sell right now? No, definitely not. One, you just don't have really a model, unless your entry model is a double top or something, and then cool, do whatever you want. If that's your trade, then that's your trade. But you want to let the market come to you, right? You want those key setups, and right now I don't have that. I don't have an entry that I would feel comfortable taking here. But these are just giving you guys examples of how you can really turn the market into whatever you feel like. Bigger the squeeze, bigger, yeah, exactly. More juice comes out of a bigger squeeze. Okay, so now someone asked me about silver and what that, like, if this confirms a bearish structure. No, because the market, yes, it crashes, but as of right now, again, it still kind of failed to stay below. It came down and then right back up again. So we don't have that final confirmation. So for now, just chill out, homies. Just chill out. It looks like it tapped this little block here. Yeah, there's just not enough demand. I'd stay out. So, I mean, that kind of shows us where we're at, right? It looks like Australian, the dollar's getting some strength now, starting to push these setups down, starting to push other ones up. And then really from here, I don't really have anything with other pairs. Dollar peso, I'm just not being involved. It's so choppy, it's so sideways, it's indecisive. The highs are not sustainable, the lows are not sustainable. This thing is like a insane asylum. Like nothing is stable here, just bipolar. With that being said, ETH and Bitcoin starting to kind of lose a little bit of steam. For this last hour, it's worked its way lower. So maybe we get one of those for tomorrow with Powell speaking. But for now, we just let the market do its thing. Don't force yourself to take any unnecessary trades. So to wrap up the sessions, I mean, I'll open it up to you guys. If you have any other questions regarding, we went over everything, guys. We went over crypto. We went over indices. We went over commodities with oil and gold and silver. We went over currencies. We went over stocks. Actually, the last thing I'll give you guys, bonus points because you made it till the end. We do have Celsius, which is, your classic energy drink here. They took a pretty big hit in 2024 after they kind of their revenue went down crazy because of distribution issues that they were having, and everything started to work its way lower, which isn't really a surprise. I mean, this thing was just exponential. Like it was just going on an absolute rampage. So the market just really rebalanced here, cleared out liquidity, and then now we're trading back at 21. I mean, this is really trading back at 2022 prices, so it's nothing too crazy. I mean, it looks like it died, but it did drop like 78%. But a couple months ago, they acquired a company that focuses completely on optimized supply. They're still making profits, so it's not like they're going negative. They just couldn't get enough. They just weren't selling as much, but their margins are good. So, anyways, besides the point, I didn't think this is gonna be fine. I don't really drink this or anything, so I mean, I don't know. You guys know better than I would. But in terms of chart work, we had a sweep imbalance, so it looks like it can mitigate here. The last thing really left is we just haven't seen a shift to the upside yet on any lower time frame. So once we get a higher high and we can kind of see a demand, then I'll wait for a pullback and pull the trigger. But as of right now, you could, I guess, buy, and you're just gonna get really good levels on the weekly, it seems like. But that's about it. So Just keep Celsius on your radar. Exit 1 would be roughly, we're talking about 173%. So that's pretty solid. And then if we get back to almost all-time highs around these imbalances from around at 90, we're looking at 315%, which is about over a 4x. So almost a 3x, almost a 4x, y'all. Your choice. So this is the bonus round here, which was Celsius. You went over it, but you still have the US30 sell active from earlier today. Yeah, I still think US30 could play out for a sell. I don't know if I went over it on the stream, but the bears, like US30 right now seems to be more bearish than NAS. So I would still be mindful of anything like this. Now, if you're going to go to sleep or whatever, then you can kind of delete any pending orders, and then approach these during New York session. So I wouldn't leave any pendings open with US30. So if BTC or ETH gets to the zone before total, would you have a wider stop? Yes. And then thanks for the reminder for total. This is a total market cap, guys. So with the total market cap, you can also use this just to get a good indication on what the market's doing. So even here, you see this is all of crypto. You see a big move down and then the rally, similar to Bitcoin, similar to ETH. So you can keep your alert here if the market gets to these levels and then pushes. It just seems like that's kind of what it's doing. So you have total 2 shows you what it looks like without Bitcoin, pretty similar. Others here is just like everything outside of the top 10. They all look identical. So with that being said, guys, take care. Enjoy. For those of you in the community, I'll see you all tomorrow morning. And then for those of you that like to plug in here, Friday fam. Friday we'll be live together, so make sure you have your notifications on so that you know when we're live. And then make sure you're subscribed and hit the like button so that YouTube does YouTube things. And yeah, let's go from there. But peace out, fam. Take care.